Fear of success. I never hear anyone mention having a fear of success, but is one that I really struggle with. There seems to be a sweet spot of success where you make a meaningful impact and earn a living without it disrupting your everyday life. Once you exceed a certain level of success, it appears to have a negative impact on you, with a chance it may even destroy your life. If this book truly has the impact that I dream it to have, and hundreds of thousands or even millions of young people get all the knowledge I've packed into this book, it may make life really uncomfortable for me. Our society tends to associate ideas with people rather than focusing on the ideas themselves. Even though this book has hundreds of quotations from other people, many of whom have contributed far more to the self-directed learning movement than I have, it'll be associated with me. I'm not very comfortable with that amount of attention. This may sound unusual, coming from someone who enjoys performing stand-up comedy, but I actually do not like attention and the spotlight. I only like it during specific times, when it's intentional, not on a day-to-day basis. I have no desire for fame, but feel like it may be entangled with success in my work. I'm reminded of a quote I heard from comedian Russell Brand in his documentary, Brand: A Second Coming, though it is often attributed to other people like Harry Truman. It is amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit. Reference 37. This is the approach I'd prefer to take, or at least to attribute as much credit as possible to the people who have done the real work, who I quote throughout this book. I fear the impact that fame can have on the relationships I have with my friends and family, and especially on my ability to build new friendships and connections in the future. I have a good friend of mine who became semi-famous in his early 20s, and I could tell that from that point forward, he was constantly dealing with people coming after him, asking him for things, and frequently trying to use him. I saw it as an unwelcome challenge to have to navigate this realm of figuring out who your true friends are and who is using you. I also fear that idea of being recognized easily in public. I value my anonymity. That's one of my favorite things about traveling, is feeling like I am free of judgment and being self-conscious because I'm anonymous. This book being a tremendous success could make this more difficult for me. It probably sounds grandiose to suggest that millions of youth would read this book, but I'm not aspiring for mediocrity. I know I can reach 10 million teens through Snapchat ads, and my experimentation suggests about 10,000 of them would purchase this audiobook. Assuming it doesn't suck, and they tell their friends about it, this could potentially become a really big deal. It's completely possible that my marketing experiments are flawed and nobody may be interested in this book. Or the people are interested in the subject, but I am a poor writer or communicator, and the book is a flop. But I'm not really sure how to aim for anything less than a home run. Why are we even playing the game if we're not swinging for the fences? So don't be fooled. My ambitions are what psychiatrists would label as grandiose. Whether or not I am currently experiencing delusions of grandeur can really only be determined in the future, based on whether this book is actually successful. You can see the flaw in the diagnostic logic here. Future outcomes can't actually be used to determine a present mental state. But you never really know until the day of release how it's going to go. So the future exists in an uncertain probability cloud that will only manifest once the book is released. I've grown more and more comfortable with this fear of success over time. My first ever psychiatric hospitalization, while seemingly being over a fear of failure, I think was really over a fear of success. I felt the fear of pending success many times because of different businesses and even performing comedy. Over time, I've developed a lot of tools to help ground myself. I make sure to go to sleep, eat well, exercise regularly, meditate and do yoga daily, avoid too much caffeine and sugar, spend time in nature, don't isolate myself, and put energy into maintaining meaningful connections with friends and family. These habits help keep my ego in check and help me not get too overwhelmed by the world.